Yo, what's up, guys? Cali Cowboy here, coming at you with another episode of the podcast. It's Wednesday, August 7th, and it's almost time for preseason action. Preseason week one, or I guess week two, because of the Hall of Fame game, but preseason week two, it's all of the teams playing, as you already know. We're playing the 49ers on Saturday, and really excited. Can't wait to see what our young guys are going to do. As you all know, starters are probably not going to play at all. Maybe one series, if that. So, going to see a lot of these young players play, and we're just really excited for that. And just a little note going forward, I think I'm going to be having podcasts every Wednesday. And throughout the week, I'm going to sprinkle in videos, maybe one or two. And in the regular season, it's going to ramp that up, maybe two to three, previews of who we're playing that week and just what's going on and stuff with the team. So watch out for that Wednesdays. If you don't already know, I have a YouTube channel, Cali Cowboy 619. Go ahead, check that out. Subscribe. Really appreciate all the support. And let's get into this podcast. So this is going to be a little bit of a loaded podcast. It's mostly going to be upon the contract situations we got, and then later I'm going to get into some of the camp news, some of the players that are showing out, doing good things, and but let me start off with some Cowboys news. Rico Gathers has been cut finally. I mean, I don't know about finally, but I guess I kind of seen it coming within these past few weeks. Rico, he hasn't really been showing too much. And what the explanation was, Jason Garrett, he said the lack of experience was really the difference, and he didn't show enough growth. And pretty much, he hasn't been showing the discipline and the things that it takes mentally, playbook and learning all that. Didn't really show it for Garrett, so we finally pulled the cord on that. Rico Gathers' experiment is over, and kind of sucks. He showed a lot of potential. Basketball player. I think he 6'6" and can go up, grab the ball. But I guess he just wasn't in that playbook enough. Couldn't get that terminology down, and we have moved on. So, and we also were looking for a new tight end, but haven't found one yet to replace him, to just to have some depth, camp bodies. And yeah, goodbye Rico. Also, we signed Tyvis Powell, safety, like right after I think we cut Rico. He's 6'2", 211. He's played with the Seahawks and 49ers, drafted in 2016. So this is about his third year playing. Not going to be much of a major player, kind of like a special teams player, or just more depth at safety. So don't think he's going to have too much of an impact, but let's see what he can do. Also, we signed some O-line depth. Lucas McNeil, kind of a big guy, 328, and we got these injuries going on the offensive line, so that makes sense. Signing a big offensive lineman, play both positions, tackle and guard. So kind of like that signing. Next, we got Robert Quinn injuring his hand, actually fracturing it. But he's expected to be back for the opener. He was going on one-on-one drills with Tyron Smith. He tried to grab Tyron's shoulder. Tyron smacked his hand, and then I think his hand hit Tyron's his elbow brace or something like that, and broke his hand. He's in Dallas getting surgery, and like I said, he's expected to be back for the opener. So not too much of a blow because he's a veteran. He knows how to prepare himself for the season, and it can be a good thing because it can give more reps for our young players like Joe Jackson, Taco, Dorrance Armstrong, things like that. So, it's not. It has some positives and it's also a negative because it's an injury. So never want to see someone get injured. And that's pretty much it. I think Luke Gifford is injured as well. Other than that, like transactions wise, we haven't really been doing anything else. So, getting into this front office news, I'm going to start with Zeke and this contract. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's got their opinion and their 2 cents on it. So, according to reports, Cowboys have extended their offers to all three players that would make them among the top five at their respective positions. Asked about it Tuesday morning, COO Stephen Jones said the team has been very generous with their offer to Zeke specifically, and they're putting him in that top five player range to all three players, and to Zeke making him the top two paid, I believe. So with Zeke, I would pay him top two, maybe even top one, just to get it done, because I think he's worth it, talent wise. But off the field, we already know that he's been having some trouble, not being in the right situations, just not being smart, and that can make us very hesitant. I think we're going to have some language in the contract to where if he does something off the field or he gets suspended again, we'll be protected from that. Definitely think we should have that in there. But with the contracts, like we're going off of Todd Gurley's and Le'Veon Bell's. We're using those as benchmarks in these contract talks. And Gurley, he signed a 4-year deal last year for 57 million, and Bell signed for 4 years, 52 million. So that's where top five, comes into the picture. After those two, the drop off is pretty big. You got David Johnson from Arizona. He's getting 39, and Devontae Freeman from Atlanta. He's getting 41. So Zeke's not going to want to get paid in that range. So Zeke's looking to be the top paid. I think maybe like 60 mil will get it done for him in his mind. But Cowboys, we're hesitant. We don't want to pay, the most money. They've already came out and said we don't want to be market setters. So right now it's just a standoff, seeing who gives in first. We got our offer on the table, so it's kind of in Zeke's camp. The ball is in their court. So yes, and Dak Prescott, he's a little bit different. The quarterback position. There's plenty of quarterbacks that have reset the market. Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, and all of their deals are more than 30 mil per season. But the drop off isn't as big. You got Matt Ryan. He's fifth in the league with an average of 30 million, and you got to put Prescott in that top five category, it feels way more realistic, especially since his 2016 classmate Carson Wentz is right there at 32. So I think right there at that, maybe just right above 30 mil, 32. I think Prescott obviously wants to get paid more, but I think that's a little bit more realistic. Get him in there right next to Matt Ryan, kind of in that category with 30 mil. So it makes a ton of sense, but it doesn't. The question is, where is it going to be? So that's where the negotiation comes into play. His next deal, whenever he signs it, will probably be more than 30 mil. It's just how much more. So Amari Cooper is the last one. His market is somewhere in the middle. The drop between the top contract and the next four isn't as large as running back, but it's getting bigger. You got Michael Thomas and Julio Jones. Michael Thomas just signing his new contract for 20 million, became the first receiver in history to do that. And you got Jones, who is still looking to sign. Jones is looking to be, similar to that point, because he is around that point. He's in the same echelon as Michael Thomas. So he's going to get a similar number as that. And then you got Odell Beckham with 18 mil. Antonio Brown, 16.7. DeAndre Hopkins, 16.2. So it's not realistic to think Cooper's representatives will settle for, being the fifth highest paid receiver. So I think Cooper is going to be right along that 17 mil, 18 mil, somewhere around that range, because everyone keeps asking for higher and higher prices every year. So he's going to want to get in higher than, that 16, that 16.2, 16.7. So it's another dance we're doing. But I'm a little bit more confident on Cooper. I think, it'll take some time, but I think we might get him done first, just to have that first block to get things going. So got Cooper, Dak, and Zeke, a lot of contract talks, and I think we really need to keep all of them. These are our new triplets. They're super talented players. Zeke being the most talented, but he's not in that position where you really need to spend money. But in this case, he's a special player, best running back in my opinion in the league. And when you got that with this offensive line and this whole situation, we got a really good thing going on. So I think we should keep this, and we can win Super Bowls with this squad. So keeping them intact should be the highest priority for us right now. So coming into the camp notes, just some players that I feel like are having a good camp. And first off, Mike Weber. He's had a couple good plays in this camp, showing some toughness and some grit, and just making good aggressive attitude runs. Making good plays in the blue-white scrimmage. One play he had a spin out of a dog pile and then spun around, raced around the corner for a touchdown. Making a competition at that running back position is really important. So that's great. Next, you got Donovan Wilson making plays, forcing a fumble on Reggie Davis, and his name has been coming up a lot. Just making plays, being around the ball. Also having the strength to take on Mitch Hyatt, who is an offensive tackle. Stood him up, kept his right arm free at the same time, and then discarded him to help make a tackle. Like, that's pretty dope. You don't see that too often, secondary player going heads up with a freaking offensive tackle and still making a play. So Donovan Wilson, keep an eye on him. Safety, definitely a position where we need some safeties to step up. So next, we got Donovan Alumba stacking up positive practices, back-to-back practices in the blue-white scrimmage. He's made a couple plays. He uses his length to his advantage in coverage, and he's willing to stick his nose in the action. Just really standing out in the secondary because he has dreads, but also he is making plays and stuff. He's making good open field tackles, had a fumble recovery, and he just had an interception on Cooper Rush last practice, I believe. So standing out, I wish it was Chris Restry, doing making all the plays, but right now I think he's standing out the most among the underdog cornerbacks. So love to see that. Next, Brett Maher, the kicker. Just a little note I put in there. Starting to worry about him a little bit. I mean, last year we knew he misses field goals, but this year it's starting to look like the same. He's missing short field goals, a 32-yard one in the scrimmage, and then also missing, just regular ones in camp. We had it good with Bailey. We didn't have to worry about kicker for a while with him. But as you know, we cut him last offseason in camp. We cut him last year in camp and signed Maher. he has a leg, but his accuracy isn't the greatest. He did make some clutch kicks, but he's also missed some. So it is what it is. You can't find a Hall of Fame kicker out of nowhere. So I think we're gonna stick with him. If it gets out of control, we'll sign the veteran. But just a little worried about Maher. Next, we got Kellen Moore continuing to show his influence on the offense, getting these little wrinkles in. It was the first time Tuesday that we seen two backs in the backfield at the same time. We had Alfred Morris and Pollard lined up on each side of Dak. Before the snap, Pollard went in motion, which caught Van Der Esch out of position, and then had a catch, and then I think it was a touchdown after that. So, these pre-snap motions and using screens in different ways and being really creative. Kellen Moore is really showing off, and I'm loving it. So, continuing with that, really got to continue with that creativeness. Taco Charlton is impressing coaches, and I kind of forgot about him. I really didn't. I don't know. I guess I don't really want Taco to really take the job. I'd rather Joe Jackson or someone else. But he is a first round pick, and I kind of been ignoring him. But he is impressing coaches. He's being physical, showing hustle. He got home on a rush on Tyron, so that's really good. Quick around the corner, knocked Smith's hands down, and finished by keeping his balance. So Taco really hopes he steps up. About his third year, so it's about time for him to show something. And better have that breakout year this year. Being a little hard on him, but hey, hope he does good. Next, we got Prescott. Just a little note from yesterday, I believe, and it was Prescott had a nice touch pass to Randall Cobb for a TD. Randall Cobb just one-on-one with the linebacker, and more times out of not, he's gonna win. He's too quick and too fast for a linebacker. So, but the way the Dak threw the ball, it was just really nice touch on it. Lobbed it over the linebacker and put it right where only Cobb could catch it. So, really nice highlight from practice. Prescott continuing to work on his game. If he can keep that consistent, showing that accuracy, Prescott will be dangerous. That's really all he needs to work on is his accuracy. He has the mobility, he has the leadership, he has the knowledge, and he has the experience now. So it's just coming down to that arm, being more consistent, working on his accuracy is really what Prescott needs to do. Next, you got Malik Collins, looking great in camp, just looking like a beast. Really for him, he just needs to stay healthy, have two healthy feet, and he'll be a beast. He's pancaking offensive linemen. He's just bull rushing people and looking really great in camp. And can't wait to see him on at defensive tackle, blowing up guards and blowing up plays and just creating havoc in there is really what I'm looking forward to for Collins. So hoping he keeps it up in camp. Next, we got Tony Pollard, kind of everyone's pet cat on offense. Really shining in place of Zeke's holdout, taking advantage of all these reps. He's running the ball great, showing great field vision, quickness in his cuts. He has that breakaway speed. And like I said, Kellen Moore, been using him a lot in different ways. So he's going to be a real weapon for us on offense. We can line him up almost anywhere on the field. He's going to be that kind of a Kamara for us. Not quite Kamara, but, he's going to be like that for us. So just really, really impressed with what he's been showing so far and optimistic that he's going to be an every down running back for us because if, when game time comes and we need the win, we're going to use whoever we can. So he reminds me of a Lance Dunbar, but can also run. So he's a better Lance Dunbar. So really looking forward to Pollard in preseason action. Joe Jackson making some noise out there, blowing up Mike Weber on a screen that looked like it had an opportunity for big yards, but he came in there hustling just like a bat out of hell, just cracked him and stopped that from happening. So showed some hustle, showed some speed getting over there, and he just continued his solid progress throughout camp. He's kind of my favorite rookie. Just love the way he's been hustling and showing his want, to get better and just to make the most of his opportunity. So hoping it continues in preseason as well. Joe Jackson, Tony Pollard, my favorite rookies. Tristan Hill, he's been doing his own thing, and he is a second round, so I think he should be showing out a little bit more, but he hasn't had any highlight plays yet that I've seen. But I think he needs to show out in some preseason games for him to really shine. So would be nice for him to step up. It is only practice, now that I think of it, but hey, I want to see plays either way. So anyways, lastly, got Xavier Woods, another, camp superstar. Him and Malik Collins has just been really nice, and I think it would be Pollard, Woods, Jackson. Collins. Those three just been really outstanding this camp. Richard been using Woods on blitzes. Woods has been showing a lot of range, intercepting, passes left and right, and just making tackles, doing what he does, continuing his progression, showing that potential he has. So really excited to see Woods in preseason as well. Probably won't see him that much in this first one, but third preseason game for us, we're going to see them starters. So really excited about that. Let's see more Xavier Woods. So that's it for this podcast, y'all. Like I said, preseason this Saturday. Going to be tuned into that. Not sure if I'll do a live stream of it, but I might. So go ahead and check me out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. It's all the same. Cali Cowboy 619. Really appreciate y'all listening to this. Listen to me on my podcast. And thank you very much, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.